Hi, this is Gail Bishop. I am going to give you just a little quick video about what to wear to an interview. Boy, there's so much information out there on this topic. It could go on forever, and it's so contradictory, mainly because most of the information out there is written for the business world and not for nursing specifically. So I guess, my advice would be to take it as, that we are part of the business world and try to take it as seriously as you can. But I certainly don't think we have to follow all the very strict rules that are out there. For instance, for men, if you read all the business information, it tells you exactly what color suit to wear, exactly how to have it fit, which kind of socks to wear, everything, everything. So, I think mainly for men, it's a matter of, a business suit is certainly ideal and always shows a lot of respect for the people that you're interviewing with. But a full business suit with a tie and coat and everything is not always necessary. I do think that you at least need a collared shirt, never a collarless shirt, and if you're not going to wear a tie, you must wear a jacket, and if you're not going to wear a jacket, you must wear a tie. That would be my opinion, but most of the literature supports that. Actually goes a lot farther than that, but I think that would be a good rule of thumb. You definitely want, shoes that are dress shoes that are not scuffy and marked up and all that. Just kind of shine up your shoes a little bit, and wear socks, definitely. Let's see, what else? Jewelry for men is a big no-no as far as piercings. So even if that is your style and your usual attire, you're taking a big gamble to wear that to an interview. Always remember that even though you might look very trendy and you might, have a really nice style about you, the person interviewing you might be 20 or 30 years older than you. And like it or not, they're going to judge you and they're going to make decisions about you. So try not to, take offense to that, and instead just try to play the game if you want the job, basically. So most of the literature supports no jewelry for men other than a watch and a wedding ring, wedding band, or one ring of some type. Let's see, what else about men? Mainly being very well groomed. If you have a beard, that's fine as long as it's well groomed and trimmed. Goatee, mustache, all of that is fine as long as it's neat and trim. I know that, sometimes that 2-day beard is a nice look to go out to the clubs or whatever, but it's not the look that they're looking for in an interview. Clean shaven is definitely way to go, or trimmed facial hair. Let's see. There's a lot of more detail about men that you could go into as far as the belt should be matching the shoes and all that, but I just think that that's probably a bit over the top for most of us. I don't think that's going to make or break the job interview for a nurse position, at least. Your colors should be conservative for sure. Navy is preferred, or gray. They say a pure black suit is kind of a no-no in the business world because it's too formal and too serious. So navy is preferred, but I don't think anybody would be upset about a black suit in the nursing world. But you would probably need to tone it down a bit. You usually want a white shirt. The tie is really important because the tie is probably the first thing that's going to be noticed about a man's outfit, if they're in a suit especially. So ties cannot be trendy, certainly not what they call a tie that tells a story. You don't want one of those. Not something that's related to an athletic team or anything like that. Nothing that's real in your face, trendy. It should probably just be a conservative tie, either with no pattern or with a very very conservative pattern to it, either dots or a repetitive type of pattern. So no cartoon characters or wild patterns or anything like that. Okay, let me make sure I've covered what I wanted to about that. Okay, I think the rest of it is kind of going to be along the same line as with the women. So at the end, I'll kind of sum up some of the things that go with both. Okay, so for women, basically, again, conservative is always best. You don't want to, go over the top with color. If you're going to use a lot of bright colors, then it should be maybe the blouse that you wear under a suit or something like that is where you could express some color. But the suit itself should not be really bright or whatever. And it doesn't have to be a suit. Certainly women can wear dresses, they can wear pantsuits, they can wear pants and a blazer. I will say that a jacket is, just makes any outfit look dressier. So a jacket's probably a great idea in most cases, but certainly not, essential, because you can have sort of a dress that looks nice. Needs to look good on you. You need to feel like you look good. And because when you feel like you look your best, then that's going to make you more comfortable and make you perform better in the interview. So, think about that, being comfortable in what you're wearing and feeling like you look really good, look like your best. You always want to think about, just because it's something that you would wear out to a club and you would look great and you would maybe be the best looking person in the room, or you would be very stylish, is not the same thing as being stylish in an interview. So, much of what we own sometimes is the kinds of clothes that we wear out or that we wear to certain occasions, and we may not own what we need for this. So don't, try to be more conservative than you ordinarily would be in most cases. So the color is going to be kind of up to you, as long as you're not, too colorful, I guess you could say. Women that definitely want, nail polish is an issue. You want it to be, you can wear nail polish. You don't have to dress like with the same rules that you have for a nurse while you're on the job. You don't have to have no fingernail polish and all that. You can have that, but you want it to be conservative, because they are sort of judging you as a nurse. Same thing with your hair. It doesn't have to be up or back away, like it would be at work. But it does need to be out of your eyes and out of your face in a way that the person is not annoyed by it and wanting to help you brush it back or something. So your hair, that goes for the men as well. The hair should never be in the eyes and never be around the face in a way that's distracting. Okay, so women, jewelry needs to be very conservative as well. They say like 1 ring or 2 rings per hand is the most you should have on. 1 earring per ear is usually what they say. Now, I know some people have another smaller stud earring. I think that's more acceptable these days than it would have been, years ago. But definitely on the conservative side. No face jewelry or anything like that. No ankle bracelets. Nothing like that. So the only pierced the only pierced jewelry you should be able to wear is the pierced earring jewelry. Shoes should not be open-toed or backless even. They're supposed to be a pump or something like that. So don't wear sandals. You may be taking a tour of the unit, and that's why they say that, so that you don't always know that that's going to happen, and they take you on a tour and you can't have open-toed shoes on the units. Let's see. Your legs should never be bare. I know bare legs are fine in the South most of the time, but even in the summer, it's not acceptable in an interview to have bare legs. So you either wear stockings or you wear pants with socks or stockings. So no bare legs. Let's see, what else? Oh, the length of your skirt needs to be so that when you sit down, that your thigh is not mostly uncovered. So really needs to be kind of right at the knee or above the knee when you're standing. No capris, definitely no leggings, um, nothing like that. Leather jackets are out for men and women. No leather jackets, even if they look good, they are considered outerwear. Um, no turtlenecks for men or women. Oh, and by the way, men should not wear bow ties, even if that's your usual style. That's considered not a professional dress for an interview. Um, Purses. For women, purses need to be conservative and inconspicuous, basically, not with some big trendy name written all over it, not to make a statement. They should be sort of not noticeable and, small, if anything. Or you can carry something large enough to use as sort of a briefcase and a purse combined, but not both. If you wear both, if you wear a purse and some kind of bag for your papers, then the purse should be very small. Speaking of purses, don't take your purse that has everything you own in it, like a diaper bag almost. Don't take that one that has, that would hold everything but the kitchen sink. So that you're digging for things. Just empty all that out, or either get a different bag, and you should take only what you need into the interview. So your keys, basically, your identification kind of stuff. And you need something to write on, something to write with, men too. And it's okay to carry a little pad with you or something, because it shows that you plan to take some notes, or that you're prepared to. Also, you should have some questions prepared to ask them. So when you pull out your tablet with that on it, it shows that you prepared something, and that you came with some forethought. Okay, let me see. Kind of got fish through several different notes here to make sure I don't forget anything. I was talking about jewelry with the women. Besides the earrings, you don't want bracelets that dangle and make noise. Really, a watch and maybe one small bracelet is fine, but not multiples. So be careful about jangly and heavy jewelry. You don't want really heavy jewelry. I guess I can switch this slide to show you some examples here. Oh dear, what did I just do? I don't know what I just did. Hang on. Okay, I think I just messed up, but let me see if I can get it back together here. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on, I'm probably messing everything up. Let me just try doing it this way. Okay, I hope I'm still recording. I don't know why it's doing that. Try going to the next page and see what happens. Oh, it just keeps on clicking out when I click on the presentation. Hold on, try it again. Okay, I'm rolling it instead of clicking on it. That's working better. Okay, so this slide was just showing some don'ts, I guess, some poor choices. For women, it's bare shoulders, definitely exposed shoulders and necklines. You definitely don't want to have any cleavage showing. Even if it is your best feature, they aren't going to think so. So don't go there. So keep your cleavage covered, and your shoulders too. You can't have tank tops. You're going to have to cover all that up. It never is a tank top going to be okay, unless you have a jacket over it. Heavy jewelry you see in that picture, the kind of dangly earrings almost down to her shoulders, not okay. And then how bright that shirt is. Maybe if there was a jacket over that shirt, it wouldn't be so bad, but it is too bright, and her nail polish is too bright. And the guy has sunglasses on his head. Might be a good look for you, but don't go there. Poorly groomed. I don't know if he's poorly groomed. I can't tell close up enough. It's okay to have a goatee or whatever. It's just got to be trimmed. baggy jacket. Don't look like you borrowed somebody else's clothes to wear to this interview. Um, you know, I mean, I know that's difficult sometimes because you may not have something to wear, but it's better to wear something that fits you and looks nice on you than to borrow a jacket. So even if you can't wear a jacket, it's better to have something that you know fits you well. And of course, he's got his shirt all gaped open and no tie and all that. So obviously, not a good look. um, what was I going to say about that? Oh, I know. Um, when I was thinking about her earrings, one of the things you should think about is that when this interview is over, that the people who interviewed you almost can't remember what you wore. It's sort of like they just remember you looked really professional and put together. They don't need to remember, oh, you remember the one with the big boa, scarf, or the one with the big orange earrings that, went down to her shoulders. You don't want them to remember you that way. You want them just to remember you as professional and well put together. So if your outfit is so outstanding, it sort of takes center stage and takes over the interview, and that is distracting, and that's what they're focusing on instead of what other valuable things you're trying to say or present. So that's a good way to think about it. Even though it might look great on you, and that's usually the greatest look for you, if it's taken center stage and it's just too much, probably not a good idea. Oh, let's see. This slide is just kind of got an overview, and of course it was just clipped from a Google search. But let me see if it offers anything new here. Empty the pockets on the men. It says empty pockets to eliminate bulges. So please, don't take every key you own and all the change that you had in your possession. Empty all that out and don't bring attention to your pockets, in any way with jingling or the noise or the just having too much in your pockets. It's saying the belt matches the shoes. Leather shoes would be best. No earrings, clean trimmed fingernails. Okay. And then for the women, it's saying a matching suit, but again, it's not necessarily going to be the way. And, we used to say sort of like church clothes. But, I don't know about your church, but now our church is pretty relaxed about clothing, so sometimes church clothes is not a good description. But basically, you're stepping it up a notch, and you need to, if you're not sure, like if you know what people wear in a work setting, then you should try to go one step above that at least. And that's a little bit hard in nursing because most people wear uniforms, but that's kind of the rule of thumb, is that you would rather be overdressed than underdressed at any given point, because you don't know how you're going to be judged, so you'd rather be judged in that direction. Let's see what else they said for the women. One thing about shoes, if you never ever wear high heel shoes, don't wear high heel shoes that day, because you're not going to be comfortable. You don't know how far you're going to have to walk, and you certainly don't want to be tripping all over the place. You don't want to look uncomfortable. You don't want to look like you just can't wait to get out of those shoes. So don't wear something you absolutely never wear and that you just wouldn't want, you're wearing just for that day, because you're going to look uncomfortable. Let's see, perfume. No perfume or either very light perfume. That's same for men. Very light cologne or no cologne. Makeup for women should be understated. You can certainly wear makeup, but it shouldn't be the first thing they notice and shouldn't even be noticed. So that's kind of a good rule of thumb. And in the middle here it says lay out your interview outfit the evening before. Definitely. You probably need to try everything on. The worst thing is to get up that morning rushing to an interview and find that something doesn't match, something doesn't fit. If you're wearing some kind of stockings and there's runs in them, whatever the issue is, you need to have really planned it out. What else? Cover your tattoos if possible. So I think you kind of are used to all those rules as far as tattoos go in terms of nursing. And you can probably loosen that up a little bit because you're not at the bedside, but just be aware, think about the age of the person interviewing you and the judgments people might make, fair or not. It is what it is. They're going to make whatever judgments they wish to make, and they don't have to explain themselves. Let's see. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything in this last little notes I have here. Well, there's notes about, making sure your breath is clean and that you don't have any kind of odor about you. Be careful what you eat the night before and the day of, because we know that some foods were going to linger in terms of the smell. Definitely, of course, no smoke smelling. No smoke smell, because if you are around a smoker or you yourself are smoking, people who don't smoke are going to notice. So that will be a big, big turnoff for an interviewer. You already know that. Let's see. Make sure I haven't missed anything. We can talk some more about this in class. I just wanted to give you some heads up. But I do want to say that if you can't afford to buy a suit, if you can't afford to go out shopping for this assignment, you are not going to be judged by that. All I expect for you for this assignment as far as dressing for the interview is that you step it up a little bit. And if you've been to convention, you already had to do that. Nobody's going to walk up to you and say, oh, those shoes are open-toed and you should wear those. You already know that. You know what you need to do, and maybe you can't do it right now, so that's okay. But what you'll be graded on, as far as you'll get a grade for doing this, a daily grade just for doing this. What you won't get a good grade for is if you just forget to do it, for one, or that you just come dressed like usual in jeans or whatever and didn't even try to step it up a notch. So I know that if you had to go to convention, you at least had to have some clothes to wear there. So hopefully it's not going to be a burden to you. Also, there's a place on campus, I wish I had thought to ask about it, but the folks who teach the business program have a closet that they use. They sell clothes very cheaply, or maybe even give them away, that are for this purpose. They're business attire kind of things. So something that you could look into. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I had thought to look at that. But there is the business department does do something like that, and some of our students have done some of their, right before interviewing, would go and get their clothing from them. So just something to think about if you're not, if you can't afford to buy anything right now and you really don't have anything to wear to an interview, there are some options. Please let me know if there's something like that going on with you, and I might be able to help you in some way. But otherwise, like I said, we're not judging you on every single thing that you have on. We know that you're not going to an actual interview this day. It's just a good way to get you more alert for it. And if you want to go ahead and get set and buy your outfit or put it together and then wear it so that we can help you decide, you can ask for that input when you come that day. Nobody's going to put you on stage and judge your outfit, okay? So don't worry about that. Okay, I hope this gives you a little bit of good information to help you with this. This is mainly the stuff I was planning to discuss in class, and we're going to talk a lot more about interviewing next week. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.